We are live. No, I'm live all by myself. Sorry. Sorry, my mic is tangled up. Okay. Can you hear me? I don't know if there's anybody even watching. I thought that there's like a little thing. Oh, apparently JT just went live too. Stealing my thunder. Anyway, I thought there was a little thing, Foz. Isn't there a little thing that says how many are watching? 0 are watching. Okay, good. I didn't want anybody to join me anyway. So, Foz, you had to tell me, like, can you hear me okay? Am I wheezing? First thing in the morning, I'm probably going to be a little bit groggy. I don't know why. I don't know why I did this to myself. It's my day off. I could have slept in, but I'm not. Here I am. Say hello if you're watching, though. I would like to say good morning. Oh, hi. There's Heather H. and Ashley, an Italian woman. That's hello, good. I'm not wheezing, am I, Foz? My nose is a little stuffed up. Mornings are, you know, hard. So, um, usually I'm up at 4:30, so I got to sleep in, a couple hours, but I don't know why I did this. Anyway, so I don't know how many of you are in the group Revisited, but we are doing this thing all October. Like we're having some fun little posts and interactions and lives and stuff like that. And one of the things that we uh, did is Allison made a post that was two truths and a lie, and so everybody posted two truths and a lie, commented in there two truths and a lie, and then everybody had to guess which one was the lie. And so I posted number one was that I can burp the entire alphabet in one breath. Number two is that I knew someone was murdered by a serial killer. And number three was that I was born dead. And so most people voted number one. I think most people voted number one was a lie, that I can burp the entire alphabet in one breath, in one burp. Um, and so I'm now here to provide receipts for that. Let me get a drink of coffee here. That's fucking hot. Oh shit. No, I cannot burp the entire alphabet in one breath. I can't even burp. That's the funny thing. I can't even burp. I've had like little accidental burps, that like just accidentally come up for whatever reason. But you know how some people can burp on command? I can't burp at all. So, no. So the other two are true. I knew someone who was murdered by, um, no, Allison, I cannot burp. It's weird. I have these little burps that like end in the middle of my throat, like the little bubble. Oh, sorry, the little bubble like explodes in the middle of my throat or whatever a burp is. It's an air bubble, right? So the little bubble bursts in the middle of my throat, and it doesn't really. It's really a pathetic sound. Um, but yes, I knew someone that was murdered by a serial killer, and I was born dead. So who wants to hear which story first? Like one is sort of interesting and one is kind of interesting. So I'm so sorry, Allison. I'm so sorry that I disappointed you. My first real public lie. I'm just kidding. Um, so no, yeah. Like I think that anybody that I mean, I probably said it before because people have burped on lives and stuff like that. I probably said it before. And I probably have said the second one before as well. I probably mentioned it. And whichever is less depressing, the second. Well, because the second, yes, Allison, is less depressing because here I am alive, right? So, um, I mean, I should try not to make it too long, but my mother, uh, was her fifth child, but her seventh pregnancy. She'd lost two others. Um, and her doctors told her, like, do not have more children, like, stop having kids. And because it was just rough on her. But she got pregnant with me, and it was 1971, so I suppose it was the end of 1970 when she got pregnant. But anyway, so she had like a lot of this is, I guess, kind of uncomfortable for some people, a lot of bleeding when she was pregnant with me. And she took they prescribed a drug for her that was taken off the market actually 2 months after I was born. And um and she was, I'm sorry, some people said serial killer. Allison said second, which is less depressing. Second. Oh, I don't know, whichever. They're both, I mean, I don't know. Well, I already started this one. Anyway, so this drug was called Stobestrol, and it was made to, I think it's diethylene Stobestrol, DES. And it was, I don't know what it was originally made for, but they gave it to women to stop them from miscarrying. And it was taken off the market 2 months after I was born, because it was causing, this is a whole nother story, but it was causing all kinds of problems with the women, the female children born on it. And it had been on the market somewhere like 35 years or something like that, maybe longer. I don't know all the facts, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so but my mother was not miscarrying me. My mother had what was called placenta previa, which I had with my son, which is basically the placenta is in position underneath the amniotic sac instead of on top. And so when you give birth, the placenta comes out first if you have placenta previa, which is dangerous because the that's the oxygen supply, and sometimes it takes a while for the baby to be born. And I was only 4 days early, so 4 days before my due date. She went in, and I guess she delivered the placenta. They knocked her out, and they delivered me, and I wasn't breathing, and I was like blue, not breathing. And the placental cord, the umbilical cord, was like thin, like the size of a pencil. And which is, I don't know if any of you have children and know how big a placental or umbilical cord is. It's much bigger than the size of a pencil. And so they had to revive me, but here I am. I had lots of issues though, and I still do, but I am alive today. So my second truth is that I knew a woman that was killed by um, um, a serial killer. So in 1997, my friend Melinda Mercer, and you can look her up, Melinda, Melinda, Mercer, Mercer, was, I'd known her probably, God, 97, I was 20. I've known her probably 6 years. I met her, um, she was a friend. She was in foster care with a friend of mine. When you look her up, it'll talk about her mom and stuff. Um, and she reconciled like after her team. She was in foster care for a little bit when she was a teenager. She was more like, because she was like a runaway and stuff like that, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, so I had a good friend who I kind of adopted as my little sister, and they had been in foster care together. My friend that I had kind of adopted as a little sister had been emancipated at 15 years old, and she started bringing her foster friends around like our group of friends, and Melinda was one of them. And she became, she was probably, I don't know how much younger that she was than me, but she was younger than most of us. And so Melinda became a part of our group. And unfortunately, when Melinda became probably about 18 years old, she got addicted to heroin, and she moved to Seattle. She had grown up in a little town in the south western part of Washington, and uh, heroin and meth are very, very bad up here in that area, and heroin was especially becoming really bad about that time. I knew so many people that were on it. I never got into it, but I don't know why, because I like the least sleepy stuff, but I just never got into it. Um, so she moved to Seattle, and of course, young in Seattle, not no college education, no really. I don't know. She started prostituting, and I imagine, to pay for her drugs or whatever. And this man named Robert Lee Yates, you can look him up too. He picked her up, and I think it was June of 97 or September of 97. I could be wrong. This has been 20 some years, of course. Um, so he picked her up in a bar in Seattle, and they found her body in um, a field, I think, in Tacoma, which is Seattle is north, Tacoma is south of Seattle, and it's like SeaTac Airport is between Seattle and Tacoma, but Tacoma is like kind of a ways down south. But she was one of the only two women that he killed in Western Washington. He killed um, most of his I think he was responsible for 16, or he admitted to 16. I think he was um, uh, only charged and convicted of 11, but again, you'll have to go look that up. And it was uh, it was pretty devastating, to say the least. I mean, it was and being that she was in Seattle, found in Tacoma, from this little town in Southwest Washington, like sound far away. It took a while for her to be identified, and her mom to be notified, and all of us to find out. But it was pretty it was pretty sad. And you can look up Robert Lee Yates, and he was in the Spokane area of Washington, where he killed most of his his victims. And very creepy is that one of the things he did, he buried one of his victims in the in his yard, like underneath. This is what I heard. I do not know how much of this is true. Back in 1997, there wasn't like mass media like this, for us, so like there wasn't a whole lot of this stuff. But every once in a while I go and I read about him, and I want to say he was put to death, but I didn't. That was not. He was not a serial killer. I learned a lot about, because it was her name would pop up, and it was really disturbing. I mean, I learned a lot about serial killers, but he's one that I just haven't learned a lot about. But I did learn that he buried one of his victims just like right outside their bedroom window when where his wife was asleep. So I don't know, very creepy, very creepy. And they found her. The reason they connected, he found her DNA in his van, or like all that stuff. So good morning, Amber. Yeah, Allison, it was pretty, it was pretty devastating. It was, I mean, like, you don't, probably all of us have had a close encounter, they say, with a serial killer. Maybe not a close encounter um, like a close encounter, like, person to person, like you got away. But like they say, a lot of us have some kind of connection to a serial killer in some degree. I think he was caught because one of his potential victims got away and was able to identify him. He frequented prostitutes in the Spokane area, and he was rather known. From what I understand, he had a white um, Corvette. He had a white sports car that was recognizable, I guess, and he picked up a lot of prostitutes, and his one of his victims was able to get away. And you know, potential victims. I mean, she would have been a victim, right? So she's still a victim. Um, so she was able to get away and maybe identify him. Like I said, um, hold on. Somebody said something about DES. Um, your grandma was also uh, DES exposed, or she took DES. DES exposure is like a real thing. Like I mean, there were so many class action lawsuits and um, like different stuff. I mean, there was like my mom, if you want to know the story of that, my mom, I was 2 months old. My mom was going back to work and she was in an elevator in an office building, and the elevator was playing morning news. Um, and uh, she said she heard that that drug was being pulled off the market for causing problems in the first generation females born um, on it. And she immediately took me to and there's like a whole other story that I could tell in another truth and lies that I would probably now know this is a truth just from telling the story. But there's a whole bunch of fucking shit that happened because of that. It's pretty interesting. Um, so I'm related to Dracula. So Amber, you should um save that for the true two truths, one lie. That's really hard to say. Um yeah, I mean Vlad the Impaler, like Vlad Tepes, he absolutely was, I mean, a serial killer to a degree, I mean, right? Like, or a mass murderer. I mean, because he fucking killed a lot of people. Allison, absolutely. I'm going to put that up there because it's very, very, very right. That's one of the biggest reasons that we should decriminalize sex work is because for safety reasons, it can be somehow when women shouldn't have to feel afraid, you know, to say I was assaulted when I was working, and they shouldn't have to feel fearful of that. Um, Yeah, that was is your mom around my age, Allison? Because I was supposedly my whoever was born in my year was one of the last people to be, pregnancies to be, because it was not only that, Heather, no, it was taken off the market in September or October of that year. Um, Amber, that's incredible. Do you have like any research? Do you have like a family tree and stuff? That's so cool. I was going to name my daughter Eli Vladimir if she had been a boy, because I said this on a live before. I was pregnant when I was pregnant with my daughter. I was obsessed with that movie with Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder. Obsessed. I mean, it was showing in like the Dollar Theater or something, like matinees, and I saw it like several times a week while I was pregnant. I was obsessed. Oh yeah, yeah. If your mom was born in the 50s, yeah, because it was given out, I think it was taken off the market in the 70s. I think it had been on the market since the at least the 30 to 50 years. I don't know, but it wasn't, I don't think it was intended for that. I think that was a for miscarrying. I think it was you know how they always discover things about drugs after they've been like giving them to somebody for something else. They discover that drugs work for something else. I think that it was not the intended use for it, but that's what it became. Like, do any of you know what Depakote is? It's a mood stabilizer um, for people with a manic depressive disorder. Um, so I had this is another truth that like I probably could save because it doesn't sound real, but it was fucking real. When I was about 20, fuck, it was before my husband died, so I'd have been about 28 or 29. I had a migraine that would not go away. Like it would not go away. Like I would, I like Advil, Tylenol, Motrin, none of that stuff would knock it out. I'd have to go to the, um, I would have to go to the hospital to get like um, their headache stuff, like they had those injectables, and it would go away and then it would come right back. And it would last for probably, it lasted, I mean, they just wouldn't go away. Nothing I could do. Nothing I could do from at home, lights off, no sound, nothing I could do would make it go away. The only relief I'd get is going to the hospital and getting these shots. They gave me medicine. They kept giving me medicine um, to try to go on for like several days, and I had like the worst side effects on all the pills that they gave me, and they weren't helping. And for 6 weeks I suffered through this. I mean, it was, I would go in, they kept me overnight a couple times, they did brain scans, make sure I didn't have some kind of brain tumor, um, all sorts of stuff like that. And then finally, probably about 2 weeks before the end of it, so about 4 weeks in, they gave me Depakote, and it worked. It took about 2 weeks, but it worked. I mean, I started to go in and they were putting shots in my spine, like cortisone or something like that. Oh, it was awful. It was terrible. And so the Depakote, it worked. I mean, but I didn't like Depakote because um, it was, I took Depakote when I was diagnosed bipolar, but I was not bipolar. I was misdiagnosed. And so they put me on that, and just didn't feel like I had any kind of like, I don't know. I just felt like just blah. And I wasn't manic. I don't know why they told me I was manic. I mean, I was depressed, but I wasn't manic. It was just a misdiagnosis. And I was misdiagnosed in the mental hospital. See, I tell you all my tea. I have nothing to hide. I was in a mental hospital for about 11 days, and it was like a spa vacation for me. Um, but I had a breakdown, and so I was in there, and that was before my son was born, so I had to be about 26 years old. And they diagnosed me in there as manic depressive, but when I came out and was like, when I came out and I was like and I was misdiagnosed as bipolar for a very long time. But when I came out, they did like say, oh, you're like not too, whatever. And they started cycling my drugs. But Depakote was one of the ones they put me on, and I just didn't like it. Later, when I was about, God, about a year later, they kept changing my drugs and stuff like that. And I have what is called olfactory hallucinations, in which you smell things that are not there. And um, they put me on Risperdal, which is also a very an antipsychotic, but I didn't like it. And they put me on a couple other things, but my God, if I took it at night, I couldn't wake up in the morning. And if I took it in the morning, I couldn't function all day. And my daughter was young. So it was like, I was just like, I don't want to do this. I would rather smell these things that aren't there and ask the people around me, am I crazy or do you smell that too? Because I would smell things like burning, um, like, I don't know how to explain, like electrical burning. Oh, sorry. I accidentally muted myself. Um, so okay, after I said electrical burning, yeah, because I accidentally hit the mute thing on my cord. Sorry. So, electrical burning, um, um, ether, formaldehyde. Um, there's like chemically smells, like cleaning, like chemically smells, like like I smell like a hospital like you smell, but just like sitting in my home, and I would smell the wall. I'm crazy. Um, I would like walk up and down the walls, like feeling the walls for any heat to see if there was like heat coming from the walls, like if there was like an electrical fire somewhere in my walls. I mean, it was horrible, but the antipsychotics and the antidepressants and all the mixture of whatever they had me on was like fucking with me hard, and I just had I had nothing. I had no um motivation. I had no, like, I couldn't function. So I just said, no, fuck it. Um, so um, I didn't want to take it anymore. So I stopped taking it. And then I got pregnant with my son, and I stopped taking all medication. Um, because I just didn't, and I learned what I did was I medication is good for some people, but like I couldn't, but having that misdiagnosis and being diagnosed and treated for bipolar when, um, Um, hey, Chris, yeah, so hold on, I'll talk about that. So, uh, so anyways, let me finish my thought here. So I just went to therapy, and lots of therapy, and I learned, how to cope with the shit instead of take medication, because medication works for some people, but I just being treated for something you don't have and not knowing any better, so being treated and medicated for the wrong thing, and just not knowing any better. So I just didn't. So as far as, they thought I had a tumor. So when I had my olfactory hallucinations, I had been having them for quite a few years, and they would, like, I would smell something, and then I would get like an oral, like a, not an aura, but like the little dots in your eyes, like the little floaties, the little sparkly floaty things that you get, which I guess they can call that a silent migraine, but there was no pain associated with it. I would see then I would have a panic attack. Then I would have anxiety. I'd have like a massive panic attack where, heart is racing, your lips and your fingers are numb and tingly. And so they thought I had a tumor. So I did go um, through my psychiatrist's, son was a neurologist, so like he referred me to him, and but nothing, no, nothing. So they just said, like, it is I don't know, it's just a hallucination. So I don't know why, but I still, to this day, it happens. But I have now discovered, if I smell something strange that shouldn't be there, that there's no logical reason it should be there, none, like formaldehyde, like, what the fuck? Why should I be smelling formaldehyde if I'm just sitting at home, right? Um, I know to take a Xanax because I know that it's going to be a precursor to, um, a panic attack. So, so I just learned over the years to just not, just just to cope, just different coping mechanisms, because I couldn't take the medication, and being medicated for the wrong thing for many years was bad. So, Allison, I think burning oranges, really the smell, like the smell of oranges. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, Allison, I'm gonna put that up on the screen. Yes, that was my thing, is that, even if I was bipolar, even if that was that, the medication made me feel like I had no, like, I used to write all the time, and I still did at like after, and I still do, but I used to write all the time. And when I was on that medication, I could not write. I couldn't. Like I couldn't write anything. I didn't feel like I had a creative bone in my body. I just was like nothing like it's definitely was a mood stabilizer, right? But the mood was just blah. Ugh, it was gross. So anyway, so that's my story there. So who wants to talk about Hell Chat? Um, I wanted to like, so I don't know if anybody wants to come on and tell their truths. Hey, T Bell. Yeah, only took Depakote, Allison. I only took Depakote for 6 months for the headache. I took Depakote when they first diagnosed me with with bipolar. They put me on Depakote, and I think they did not put me on that really famous antidepressant, the very first one. God, what was that fucking called? The very first antidepressant that they really toted back in the 90s. I can't remember what it was called, but Zoloft was one of them, and then there was another one. I can't remember, but I didn't like any of them. They were gross. I mean, I didn't feel like, they were gross, and I couldn't have. Uh, like I won't talk about that. Is that too much? I could have orgasms, which was terrible. Like who wants to be on that? Yeah. So no, and then I went off the Depakote pretty quickly, um, with my bipolar, because I was like, I can't, like, I don't want to. But with the migraine, the fact that after 6 weeks, well, yeah, about 6 weeks, after 6 weeks, that I was finally getting some relief, and I did not have to end in the hospital like every other fucking day, was, I didn't fucking care. Like, I didn't care. I said, I'll take the blah as opposed to that fucking throwing up pain, blinding lights. Everything was awful. Any sound. And I had two small children at the time. My husband had to take a leave off of work to take care of my kids because I could not take care of them. And, so it was like, that was horrible. Oh, Foz says thumbs down to Hell Chat. Um, I just wanted to say that, and maybe I won't use any names here, but when somebody comes into a community that is problematic, and this could be said about anybody, but is consistently showing behavior that is problematic, like, why do we continue to entertain that person? Like, if everybody in this community felt like I was problematic, and that I was continuously repeating a behavior, apologizing for it, repeating that behavior, apologizing for it, repeating that behavior, that's toxic. I would hope that y'all would stop entertaining me. Like, fucking block me, leave my group, not give me any kind of like support, because like, doesn't that just show me I can get away with it? That it's like, it's okay. You don't want to be in Hell Chat, Heather. It's like, it's ridiculous. And the only reason I stayed in Hell Chat was because I know that if I left, they'd keep adding me back. And so I just stayed and ignored it for a long time. But I'll say, the other day, I went in because somebody was talking about me going live with JM, and people were asking me about it. And I was like, what the fuck? Me and JM hadn't made a plan to go live, like, what's going on? So I went and peeked in Hell Chat, and I still didn't get my answer on what the fuck was happening, but I saw someone ask someone a question about someone else and their personal relationship. Um, and I know kind of the backstory to the whole dynamic there. So I said, why is it any of your business? And I bounced, then I went back on ignore because, and yeah, I mean, okay, I didn't do it specifically to stir up shit, but I did it just to make my point, because I know the dynamics between the person asking the person about the other person who's not even in Hell Chat, right? Like, I know the dynamics of that whole situation. And I know that it was not made out of curiosity. It was not made just out of curiosity. And so then, they start going off on me about, whatever. And so I came back in, and I left a big long message that said like, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna go back on ignore, so tagging me won't bring me back, but these are the reasons why I did this, and this is how I feel. And then I went back out. And uh anyway, so like a bunch of shit ensued. Yesterday morning, I'm putting this out here. There's a new hell chat, but it's not really a hell chat. Um, it's not really a hell chat anymore because hell chat is hell chat because you can't kick anybody out. There's nobody running it. You know what I mean? Um, it literally is hell because you can't, if you want to be in there and converse with your friends in there, if there's somebody in there that's giving you shit, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Like you can't do anything. You have to leave, which is, you should be able to leave, but it is just a free for all thing, and people get attacked on a regular basis. Um, but yesterday is Monday, right? Yes, yesterday morning, I woke up to some messages, and I'm going to try to not use names here because the people involved now, they all know. Um, uh, oh my God, Amber, sacrificial lamb. Um, so I got these screenshots of a specific individual in the community who's not actually in the community anymore, but is in Hell Chat. And y'all can suss what I'm saying now. Ooh, sus. But I'm using sus in not the suspecting way, but sus in the what's the Allison? What's the definition of sus? SUSS. It's a British slang, right? To like ferret out the truth or whatever, to like get the truth. You can figure it out yourself. Okay, so this person is in Hell Chat, but is not in the community, and not in any of the groups, but does interject themselves into everything that's going on in the group based on what is being said in Hell Chat. And we know up until recently, the people that are involved, up until recently, Hell Chat was all very one-sided. There was not a lot of people. If there are sides, there was a lot of people from one side and not the other in there. But then I was in there because of the alt that I was using, and um, somebody said something about me, and and it was just not. I just, I don't like being lied about, so I, went in. Anyways, so yesterday I got some messages that were supposedly screenshots of messages from this person that it was in Hell Chat, and another person that used to be in Hell Chat that is married to another person. Oh my God, it's such it's so much triangle stuff. But uh, and basically, this person was saying, I like to go in there and just cause shit, make them believe that, yeah. Of course, Allison, you like words, and I like words too, but I'm getting old, so words are starting to escape me a lot more lately, and definitions of words. I know what I mean, but it's hard for me to define them. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So these screenshots clearly showed, if they're real, clearly showed this person saying, basically it's fun for her to go in there and just create shit between us. Just she'll play on her mental illness that she is, I should say that they are having in a heightened emotional state, and people, just, it just not good stuff. I figured, I don't know why I was given them, other than I'm in Hell Chat, and I don't know. I mean, this person doesn't doesn't like me, but doesn't not like me, doesn't like, sometimes we have good conversations. And in fact, yesterday we were all having good conversations in Hell Chat. It was nice until Squishy came in and said some fucking rude shit, and left. So that was what it was. But so it but the dynamic in there and the atmosphere in there, I knew if I had dropped those screenshots in there, I would be attacked, and more so than I am already. I can hold my own, but I just didn't want the screenshots, and the message in the screenshots was disturbing to concerning to me. So I gave them to somebody that I trust, and I said, you know, you could do whatever you want with them. I don't care, but I think, to me, I think, and to a couple other people that saw them, we thought that people should know, because if they are true, this person is playing on our emotions, manipulating us all. And when I say they're being used, I mean, they're using us for, I mean, nothing more than just like pure entertainment, right? So if they're for real, I don't know if they're for real or not. So that person made a pathway to Hell Chat. And oh, thank you, Donna. um, and thank you, Allison, too. Um, so I told, it made its way to Hell Chat. That's what it did. It didn't have to make its way to Hell Chat for me, in my opinion, but it needed to. I think that there's people that I still care about in there that are not friendly with me, but I still genuinely care. And I don't want to see people be manipulated and used, and and just treated like fucking puppets or toys, um or anything like that. So I just said, do with these what you want. The person that got them, or the people that got them, however they got them, the way the channel that it went was meant to protect me, and I appreciate that. And protect me not because I was doing anything wrong, but from the vitriol that I'm already um you know like experiencing and dealing with every day. So I just was like, I thought they should know. And so they were dropped in Hell Chat, and um the person that dropped them in Hell Chat just said, like, can we discuss this? It wasn't, look at you, what are you doing? Like, it wasn't accusatory. It wasn't there was no like attacking of the person that was in these screenshots. It was like, can we discuss this? And I think the reason that the person, I won't speak for them, but I think the reason the person didn't go privately to the individual and instead drop them in Hell Chat is because it has to do with every single person that's in Hell Chat. Like, they all are either being played by the one person or being played by another person or whatever. They're all being played in some degree. It's good to have the truth out there, right? So they immediately, now I was not involved, like I was not active in Hell Chat when this was happening, but while it was happening, I was actually scrolled all the way back up to where I had last, and I was trying to catch up with everything. So I didn't actually know at the time they were dropped what was happening. I was scrolled all the way back up, and I was responding to some things. So I didn't know this was going down until I got down to where it was going down. And then there were a lot of voice messages. And this individual that the screenshots were of, they did say, oh, is this what we're doing again? I mean, got really defensive. And the person that we kind of believe is behind the screenshots was in there as well under an alt, and had just become active for the first time ever, I believe, and said, like, was started to interact, and was being, and I guess they were this person was like, they were kind of fighting, and the whole situation is very sus. SUS, very suspect. Like, the whole way it came down, the way it came to me, the timing that it came into Hell Chat, the timing of this alt coming active in Hell Chat and starting to speak. It was all very suspect, all very suspect. And instead of defending themselves like they normally would do, they went on a complete attack, like an attack. Like she was in a very, she, they, sorry, were in a very, very an emotional state, a very heightened emotional state. I do not know if it was real. I do not know if it was genuine. I don't, because this person has done things very similar many times to me. I'm sure to Foz. I'm sure to, we've seen screenshots of a couple other people that they've done it to, where she will use her heightened emotional state as a weapon, I guess. You're being mean to me. You're making me want to cut. Um, I should just go kill myself. And they have told other people to kill themselves too. It's like, it's ridiculous. Um, and so, but was sending very, very emotionally charged, angry, just really anger filled, hate filled messages, voice messages into Hell Chat, directed with no names, but directed towards individual, like saying, you fucking cunt, like, you fucking, stupid bitch, and like all this stuff, either directed at the person that dropped them, or the person that was actually trying to say, could we just talk about this? Nobody, not a single person in Hell Chat was attacking this person. And they just went off the rails and then bounced out of Hell Chat, went live, and started really misrepresenting the whole situation. I was trying to explain to this person why people were upset. And it wasn't even at the screenshots at this point. It was at the response. It was at, like, she said she opened one of the screenshots, didn't even read the whole thing, and just said it's fake, you know? And so, um, who's Angie? Is Italian woman Angie? Sorry. I just looking at chat and I just see the name Angie. Because I do not see. And I'm sorry you can't follow around with the story. But yeah, anybody that wants to follow, anybody who wants to be added into Hell Chat, just go ahead and ask. You can leave at any time. You just can't be kicked out. You could just be added in and then bounce, and you will still have all the Hell Chat from before you were added in. Okay. Oh, Angie Z. All right. Hi. So now I know who Italian Woman is. Awesome. So, so I said, so she bowed, and there was a lot of like conversation after she left, and the whole day pretty much, except for like 2 times, I think Squishy had said some, and maybe AP had said some things, but the whole day was fairly just kind of, even keeled and not really charged. Me and one of the people had a couple exchanges, but even our heated exchanges in there are not, they're not nasty all the time, but there's a couple people in there that just cannot say anything but a nasty thing. Um, so anyway, so after she bounced, she went live, she was saying a lot of things. I was trying to say, hey, it was your response. Nobody is angry about these screenshots if they are fake, but they wanted to discuss them. And the reason that they didn't come privately to you is because everybody had a right to know if they were real, and we wanted to discuss it. People should be able to decide for themselves. Plus, this individual does not give anybody the respect of going privately to them. She just goes into Hell Chat and spills everything and shares screenshots and does all that stuff. And, so apparently this is not an expected thing. Sharing private messages is not uncommon in Hell Chat. Hell Chat is Hell Chat for a reason. So anyway, she decided that I was being mean to her, that all of a sudden we had been having a good conversation earlier. She took a nap, she woke up, and all of a sudden I was being mean to her. And I was like, okay, whatever. So fast forward a little bit, and one of the people in Hell Chat gets a screenshot from this person that says, oh, you guys are working together. And it was a screenshot of me saying, and I will explain it to everybody because I explained it to her in private message, and then she sent me a long novel of the reasons why I'm a liar and all this stuff, and how I'm going to make her hurt herself. And I think using your mental health to try to manipulate people is one of the nastiest things you can do. You can use your mental health as a reason for why you need to step back from things, a reason for why you maybe went off on somebody, you know, um, prematurely or whatever, could be a reason, not always an excuse, but a reason. But to say to somebody, to try to get somebody to back down from their position, or to do something by saying you're going to hurt yourself, I think is so emotionally manipulative, especially for people who have had loved ones kill themselves. It is so dirty. It is so dirty and nasty that it's just, then you just got to stop, and just, whatever. But the message said, that I put in there that really set her off, was I said, I'm going to go play I'm going to do it as verbatim as I can. I don't have it up on the screen right now, but I said, I'm going to go play my basic bitch game. It was nice working with you fuckers. That's all I said. And this is what it meant. I'm going to go play my basic bitch game. Man, the person involved did call Among Us. If you haven't played it, it's so much fun. It is a basic bitch game, and this person called it a basic bitch game in Hell Chat, and I've been laughing about it ever since, because it's a very basic bitch game, but it's fucking hilarious. It's fun. So I've been joking about that and calling it a basic bitch game while in my game, kind of joking around about it. And when I said nice working with you fuckers, I meant it. Was like, it was the first day in how many days have I been back in Hell Chat where I've actually had good, decent conversation with anybody, where I wasn't either being grilled for questions, or I've been totally ignoring it, or my name was being brought up repeatedly. What we say, Foz, on average of 20 times a day, my name is mentioned when I'm not even in there, something like that. Maybe even more. And so when I say not in there, like, I'm actively ignoring it, so it disappears from my message list, and I don't even go and look. And if I do go and look, it's only because somebody's told me something's being said and I should go look. So it was the first day since I've been back in Hell Chat that the atmosphere was not incredibly just volatile and toxic, and we were having conversations about different things and laughing and stuff like that. And so that's what I meant. It was the first day that people were not at each other's throats. And I did just say, nice working with you fuckers. So that's how that went down. And of course, she got on a live. I think she's deleted it now, but she got on a live and started talking shit about that, saying, she was like, oh, you guys are working together. I know you guys are working together. You guys just, I shown it, but me and the person that she's blaming that on and attacking that for, definitely not working together. I mean, but here's the thing, is after all that happened, everybody not the thing, but one of the things, everybody in Hell Chat is like, where did these screenshots come from? Where did they come from? And they're going to start investigating. So I went to the person that dropped the screenshots, and I told them, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I know we don't get along, but I'm always, and this can be proven over the last couple months, I am always going to give you guys information I think you should know. Always. Like I did with the fundraiser stuff. I thought they should know that there were people getting their refunds. I didn't just keep that to myself. I took it, and I was attacked for it. And that's one of the reasons I wasn't going to drop that shit in Hell Chat, because, I'm going to be attacked for it no matter what I do. So I don't care, but I'm not going to voluntarily put myself in that situation. So I told them, this is where I got them. And I'm not going to speak on where that person got them. I don't know the motivation behind it. I know that the motivation is either it's real, and that's fucked up, because this person is completely just emotionally manipulating us all the time. I mean, the highs and lows are insane. The I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used that word. It's it's a roller coaster at times, and it is extremely difficult to know when you're going to set this person off. I mean, it can be just like the slightest wording of something, and it would be like, just no. I mean, it's just not. It's not fun. It's not fun. And so then I went to, and then I said, I started to feel like, because I don't like keeping secrets. I don't like working behind the scenes on things unless behind the scenes is protecting someone. I don't feel like the people involved in where those screenshots came from need to be protected. I don't think that they're vulnerable. I think that they can hold their own and put themselves in situations that, where they need to hold their own. And so if you don't want to be in those situations, then step out. Um, and um, and I appreciate the people that wanted to protect me, to keep my name out of it. But I went and I said, my name's in it. This is where I got them. This is all I know. I am trying to get like screen recordings, but I don't know that that's going to happen. And then I went to the other person that was being attacked by this person and told them. And then Hellchat kind of, I think maybe the goal was to ruin Hellchat, because Hellchat kind of got ruined because this guy, and I'll say his name, Daniel Pellegrino, is in there. He doesn't talk. He adds people. He threatens people's, I mean, sometimes he talks. He threatens people's lives. He adds people. He screenshots stuff, I think, and sends them to people. But he kept this person, the person that we were speaking of that was going off, left Hellchat, and then this Daniel Pellegrino kept adding them back and kept repeatedly adding them back, and they kept repeatedly leaving, like over and over, like in a row. And so yeah, it was interesting. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I don't mean to use the word crazy as in, speaking on anybody's mental health, but weird stuff. And I see people are talking about Among Us in the chat. So you can play on the phone or you can play on your computer. It's the most fun if you can join Discord and play and get on voice chat and then play games with people on voice chat, because it's really hilarious, because you can like accuse each other and ask each other questions without having to like type in the chat. But the gist of it is that there's up to 10 crewmates on a spaceship or in a space station or something like that. And there's different rooms, there's a map, and there's different tasks that you have to do. But 1, 2, or 3, up to 3 people are imposters. And the imposter's job is to kill off crewmates and kill off enough crewmates to win the game. And sabotage tasks so that the crewmates are running all over the place. And the crewmates' jobs are either to figure out who the killers are, the imposters are, or to finish all their tasks before everybody gets killed off. And then that's how you win. And so while you're doing your tasks, if the imposter kills somebody and then somebody else finds their body, or like me, self-reports, they report the body and everybody goes into a discussion. And that's when you're in voice chat and you discuss, okay, where were you? What were you doing? Or I saw this, that kind of thing. So it is kind of like Clue. And you can call emergency meetings too, and do that. But and yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. I think it is very basic, and it is very in the graphics and the way you do things is very basic, but I think it's the interaction that makes it fun, because you get on there and each little guy is a different color, and so they're like, Pink, where were you? What were you doing? And like, oh, you're acting really sus. You're acting really sus. SUS, suspect. And love you, Allison. It is really fun. It is really fun. So everybody should. Yeah, it is done. It's set in a spacecraft. Um, I mean, there's 3 different maps, and I guess they're all spacecrafts, but one seems to be like on a planet somewhere, Polis or something like that. And each one, like the very first map is pretty easy and basic, and then the second map is a little more challenging. But the third map is like really challenging because it's not very clear defined. The map isn't really clearly defined where you can walk and where you can't. Like you run into walls a lot. It's just very, so it's fun though. It's a lot of fun. Um, I think, was there anything else I wanted to address? I haven't been keeping up with the chat, but I'm very, very happy that I haven't gotten any assholes in here. I love it. I love it. I've been enjoying my coffee. I've been up for 2.5 hours already. I'm going to take a nap after this. Does anybody, I know Christy said she came into the roast last night, kind of at a weird time when we were roast and witness, but how is Christy, if you're still here, how's Elizabeth doing? I know that she said she had her bone marrow transplant. How did that go? I'll wait for her to. Call. um, maybe she's not still in here. That's okay. So anybody is anybody okay? Heather, you're laughing. What are you laughing at? I think probably my messages are coming in way late, but how is Miss? Hold on. Oops, sorry. That should not be on. How is she's not doing great? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Christy. Is she I mean, is it she's doing poorly, like side effects from the um the bone marrow transplant, or just in general? What's the prognosis? Oh, I see, Heather. Okay. Caw. Um, sorry, my headset keeps hitting my mic. My mic keeps hitting my cord. Does anybody have any news? Is there anything I should be uh talking about except for October? Oh, are these normal things, Christy? Are those normal side effects? Renal failure? Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Christy. We all like pray for that little girl. Pray hard. If you're praying people, pray hard. If you're Wiccan, maybe do a little magic for her. Um, if you're whatever you believe in, if y'all could put some good energy out for that little girl, it would be great. Like, I'm so sorry, Christy. What does that mean? I mean, I don't know. Do you use crystals like for healing or anything, Christy? I mean, I don't know if you could find someone in your area that could come do some energy work for her. Yes, pray hard for her every day because it's just, I'm, I'm beyond, I don't, I imagine that I mean, she's so young and it's such a tough road she's been going through. I, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine. I'm so sorry. And our thoughts are absolutely 100% with you. Is anybody, you're in Michigan, you're in the like Detroit area. I mean, are you in like close to Detroit or, I mean, I don't know who's watching this, but, uh, if there's anybody out there that's listening to this or watching this or watches it later, or anything, if you know anybody if you know anybody in the Michigan area, Detroit area, um, that does energy work or healing work, um, even Native American, um, energy work, Wiccan energy work. I mean, I don't know all of those things, but any of that. Um, there's a page, Children's Hospital in Detroit. There's a page on Facebook called Love for Elizabeth, and uh, her mom's name is Christy Murphy, Kristy. And I'm sorry if that, I mean, I just would like to get people uh, invested in that little girl again. Um, if you know anybody that does any kind of alternative, like healing work, that would be willing to like go, you know, put some of that energy into that little girl, give me a moment. As a mother, I can't imagine. Um, I can't imagine. I can't even imagine. Like, if you guys are healers and you could reach out to the healing community, to anybody that might be in the area, um, that could go just help Christy and Elizabeth. I mean, anything. Like modern medicine, Western medicine is amazing. The strides and the leaps of bounds of progress we've made, but uh, Eastern medicine, traditional um, medicine, like native medicine, all of that stuff is also very valid and helpful. And so, um, I just wish that we could get people in there. I mean, Love for Elizabeth on Facebook. Um, I'm sure that if you search Love for Elizabeth, there might even be more than one. But uh, what's the and then yeah, she says that she'll accept a medicine man woman from the Native American tribe. Um, yeah, I just would like that's just I mean, it's so devastating, and I can't. I'm genuinely sorry that you were ever brought into all of this bullshit and that you're ever even interested in listening to it at all, um, because it's not like all of your thoughts and energy shouldn't be distracted by the bullshit that's going on that you can't help or that you were brought into. um, but I'm glad that we all got to know her a little bit, that we all got introduced to her a little bit because um, she is a amazing little girl, very, very full of sass, and I'm sorry that she's going through all this. Um, but yeah, I'm so sorry. Do you want to tell us anything else, Christy? I mean, is there anything else? It's just like that. Yeah. I just want I if it can happen, if it can go wrong, it does. I did, but it she's so strong. She's so strong. And I know that it's like the fight is just worth it. And I know that you've said a lot of times that she just doesn't want to anymore, but you're being so strong for her too. You are so strong as well. And your daughter, um, both of you, like, just, I don't know. Do you stay in the hospital with her, Christy? Um, this is not about that. I don't have contact with her anymore. So I just know that from the last thing I heard was she was trying to get all the numbers and stuff off um, the receipts for the card, but I know that the cards that I know that a couple of them were Visa cards, and I think that those might be a little bit more difficult to track as far as spending. I don't know, like if they got intercepted in the mail somewhere and have been used. I don't know, or if they didn't ever go out. I don't know. I don't have any clue about what's going on with that because the last I know is that I just know that the last I heard was that I know that the that they were trying to get all that information. But it's been many days, so if they don't have the information, I can't say. I don't know. I was hoping, did you get the videos? Oops. So maybe somebody that knows anybody in the Reiki community could like look into maybe finding somebody distant Reiki. Well, Laura, what if you know stuff about that? Maybe you could get in touch with um, Christy and like, or if Amber knows anything about uh, distant Reiki. Oh, okay. Okay. Heidi says, yeah. So well, Laura, I don't know if you're on Facebook, um, but if you are in the Love for Elizabeth group, or if you could go join the Love for Elizabeth group and find Christy and talk to her, maybe that could be something that, would be like a positive thing. She's, Christy, she's deactivated. She's not on Facebook. Her profile is deactivated. So, so I don't have access to her. Excuse me. I had the hiccups. Um, hold on. Let me try to do that. Okay. My, I don't know how to do that. Let me, oh my gosh. Okay. So StreamYard is a very interesting, um, little piece of machinery here that makes your computer run super slow. So everything else that you're trying to do oh, let me do it from my phone. Hey, 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 hey. Look at me trying to be smart. Um, um, can I get a link from Sorry. I can't. Oh, haha. Okay, so if you search Love for Elizabeth, it has a heart behind it. There's 147 members and it has a picture of her. I have to join Christy because I forgot that I joined as Lars, and I guess I did not come join. So it is it's got a picture of Elizabeth. She's wearing a purple dress. She's got like a pink and blue Disney kind of background. Oh, there you go. The heart at the end. It has a heart at the end. I don't see any other Love for Elizabeth groups. But maybe it's because I'm connected to a lot of people in that one that it comes up. So, okay, now I'm joined and Amber put it in the chat. There you go. And good, good. So, like maybe Reiki groups where we practice Reiki and focus on sending distant Reiki to people that request it. That's there. Good. Very good. Wonderful. Maybe we can get some good healing energy to that little girl and just hopefully. And as far as the videos and the cards, Christy, I'm sorry. Like I don't know I don't know anything other than what I was told. I was told that those videos would get to you. That I mean, even on a live the other night, she said that she wanted to get that video to you. So I don't know why it hasn't happened. Um, my main goal in all of in getting involved in any of that was not to prove or disprove that she was or wasn't a scammer. It was to get those people their refunds so that they could choose to get it directly to you instead of it sitting in limbo for 90 days. And so that was my main goal. I had no interest in proving or disproving her a scammer because that all of the ugliness that has happened around that is, I think, I think adding a lot of negative energy to the whole situation. You know what I mean? And because it's turned something that was supposed to be incredibly like uplifting, it's turned it sour. And all those people that have all that hate in their hearts that are trying to prove this woman as a scammer, they're putting so much energy towards that. Why wouldn't they put that kind of energy in just trying to rectify getting those people their money back and maybe just pushing the healing of this little girl. I mean, think about if all of that negative energy could just be turned back into positive energy. I mean, I just don't want to be involved in it. I mean, I know that I'm involved in a lot of shit, but I didn't want to be involved in anything that would put negative energy towards the effort for that little girl. I mean, it's just that's terrible. She didn't want to say, oh, I'm to be quite honest, Christy, I'm probably sure that's probably one of the fears you have too. That has to, yeah. I can't. Yeah. I hope you do too. Do you have friends that come visit you or anything? I don't know what it's like with COVID. Can you have people come visit you? Because I just don't, yeah, I don't know what that would be like with COVID. Like if people can even come into the hospitals to see her, to see you or anything. So I hope you are doing No visitors. Do you get to go like sometimes and just go get like just go like recharge yourself? I mean, because I know that like the I know that the you want to be with her all the time, and I probably wouldn't if I mean even if I was, needed it, I probably wouldn't do that. I probably couldn't do that, but I think somebody would have to force me to like leave. But do you go and do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself? Are you able to like just walk outside and get some fresh air, or you know, could you go get a massage or something? I mean, I know it's like probably massages aren't like something that's happening during COVID either. I don't know. I don't know. I don't leave my house. I do not like being in hospitals either, but I would not be able to leave. But I just want to make sure Christy's getting out and doing what she needs to do to take care of herself too. And maybe Victoria sticks just stays with, and I'm sure Victoria needs to go do. You don't leave her side. You don't get your nails done so you can have those nails to scratch her back. We were talking about how that's important too, because feeling good for yourself is important so that you can be there for other people. Taking care of yourself is important so that you can take care of other people. Because if you go down, you know, if you get sick or something, or get into a really depressed state, then you're not able to take care of her either. Aren't all hospitals kind of creepy, Heather? That's not true. My my the hospital my son was born in was like beautiful. It was great. I loved it. I could have like lived there. It was great. I did live there for 5 weeks, but anyway, all right, guys. Christy, take care of yourself, please. Love her. Like, I don't know if like I don't know if like maybe sometime during during this month. I know um we're doing a lot of stuff during this month for Halloween, spooky stuff, bold moves, um, paranormal stuff like that. Um, I wouldn't mind if we did like a moment where we got a bunch of people on here and we all just sat for a minute and just sent, you know, everything, all of it, all of the good juju, all of the good vibes, sent them all to Elizabeth Children's Hospital in Detroit, Michigan. Just just focus your energy that way, and just focus your thoughts, and like just do it. Like, energy is a real thing, you know. Put it out there in the universe. Elizabeth is going to get better. Elizabeth is going to be fine. Like, it's tough right now, but that little girl is a superhero. So anyway, ladies, thank you for joining me for coffee talk. um I hope you all will come and um, join us for our different lives. I think that our next big live, conspiracy theory live, is going to be, there's a calendar in Revisited. It might be in the sarcasm group too, but if you we might put a calendar up on as the thing for our channel, so that it's just like there, the whatever, the icon or the image or whatever. um Come and join us, and if you have scary stories, if you have creepy things, just like weird places or something you want to share, absolutely let us know. DM us, me or Allison or Foz. um, and then if you want to be a part of the hot seat, which is, basically we're going to just ask some really random ass weird questions. And they might be off the cuff, they might be planned. They're not going to be so personal that you would be like, I don't want to answer that. They're going to be weird questions. Like my question, pie or cake? Just questions like that. And but maybe a little more deep. Let us know, and we will. I mean, you don't have to put your face up, but you'll definitely have to come live. You just come and do it. I think it's gonna be fun. Me, uh, Courtney, Foz, are all gonna be, and I think Melissa was already put in there a little bit, but me, Courtney, Foz, and Melissa will probably be interviewed in the hot seat at different times. But I just want you all to be able to come, even if you don't interact very much. Come and we host all no face streams. That's what we do. We're the no face channel. Every once in a while, someone goes against those rules, breaks our rules. And this is my about my sorry about my avatar, but that's my that is my October avatar every year. So that's what you get. That's what I look like this early in the morning. All right, guys, I am going to go. Love you all. Thank you for keeping it civil and nice. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.